Okay, let's get into it. Minimal editing. By the way, welcome to the new studio. I won't be doing too much editing. I'll do a few tweaks here and there to make sure the message goes through correctly. But yeah, so I'm in the middle of the move. Eventually, I'm going to put up all this stuff, so just bear with me. I need to get to giving you all this free game. Okay, I need to give you all this free game about how to start a business over here in Africa, because there's a whole lot that you can expect to experience when you're coming over here to Africa. Because one of the things that people are concerned about is scamming. A lot of people that are, have never started a business over here in Africa, they're scared. Trust me, I hear you. Trust me, I totally get you. Scamming is everywhere, okay? One thing you have to understand, scamming is everywhere. No place is perfect. Where you are right now, if you're not in Africa, where you are right now, there's probably some scamming going on. If you're in Africa, there's definitely scamming going on. There's always going to be scamming. The question is, are you going to let your dreams die because of the fear of scams? You're going to struggle over there working for the NHS. First of all, the NHS sucks. I keep talking crap about the NHS because the NHS sucks. The NHS is the National Health Services in the United Kingdom, because the UK is falling apart. And many other places that are falling apart in Europe. Yeah, there's a lot of scamming. Even the NHS is scamming. They're collecting taxes. People are paying their taxes, but the NHS is not working. Isn't that a scam? Scamming is not isolated to just Africa, okay? Scamming happens in the US as well. The whole economy is a scam right now. What? Eggs for $9? Like, who does this? The whole thing is a scam. What I'm saying is that here in Africa, there's scammers too. The difference is, it's not an outrageous amount of scamming, and also the kind of scamming that you will experience, you just have to be able to identify before it happens. And I can teach you on how to identify certain scams before they even happen, okay? But what tends to happen typically here in Africa is that, but the majority of people are not going to be earning as much money as you. So it's going to be the regular people, then the 90%, 95% regular people, that earn maybe, $5 a day. That's the majority. Some that are earning $10 a day, $20 a day, that's the majority. Even then, that's not bad money, right? $10 a day on average, that's okay. You can eat, because a meal can run you $1.50, $2 if you're trying to go fancy. So if you're making $10 a day, that's good. That's good money. And I'm talking about here in Tanzania. Of course, here in Dar es Salaam, it's going to be different from outside of the capital, outside of the big city, because Dar es Salaam is a big city. So when you're dealing with those types of people that are making that kind of wage, it's going to be petty scamming. Like, maybe they might not give you change, maybe 50 cents or $1 change they won't give you. So if you're comfortable losing $1 per transaction once in a while, based on these little petty scams of 50 cents per transaction once in a while, if you're comfortable losing that, then that's good. That's okay. You're good. Because it's not going to hurt too much. But when it gets to like $5 every transaction, come on, man. $5 adds up. $5 per transaction. If you do 10 transactions, that's $50. Money adds up when you look at it that way. So you're going to get scammed petty from that group. But of course, not everybody's going to scam you. There's some good people that will give you change on time. that are honest. And then on the flip side, when you're dealing on the high end, there are also people that are scamming you. People that come to you pretending like, they're entering in an agreement or we're doing some kind of business transaction, and then they might breach the agreement. And then in them breaching the agreement, they might try and strong arm you. Okay, there's all kinds of weird things that go on. They might try to strong arm you because they know it's pretty easy to pay off, certain people. It's pretty easy to pay off, like, let's say, somebody in law enforcement. Let's say, for example, a local law enforcement guy earns, let's say, 300 USD a month. It's easier for you to bribe him with $50. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that all the time. So they can get ahead. It's just part of the game. Do I agree with it? No, I don't agree with it. I don't like it that this is the case. And in the West, you can't do that. In the West, you cannot go to the police officer and be like, hey, police, excuse me, Mr. Police, my neighbor is a rat. Here's $50, go jam him up. You can't do that. Because they're going to be looking at you like, are you crazy? $50? Like, I jeopardize my job? Are you crazy, sir? But here in Africa, it's acceptable. Everywhere in Africa, it's acceptable to play this game. Again, do I like it? Do I endorse it? Absolutely not. I don't like it. I don't endorse it. But what I'm saying is part of the game. So when you're coming over here to Africa, you have to understand that this game is going to get played. This is how the people at the highest level will scam you. Because they'll start like confusing you with fake documentation, fake letters, fake all these things, and then try and involve law enforcement that has been paid to intimidate you. But don't you worry, because at the end of the day, if you're a stand-up person, all these things won't happen to you. All these scams won't happen to you. But it requires you to be a stand-up person, though. If you're not a stand-up person, some of these scams are going to jam you up forever. They'll jam you up forever. Let's say, for example, you get into some kind of disagreement. You're doing business with somebody. You get into some kind of disagreement, or a contract is breached. Anytime anything involves money in business, people get triggered. People get weird. People behave irrationally. Anytime money is involved in anything, people get very irrational. Most people. Because most people have a very dysfunctional relationship with money. That's just the cold, hard truth. So some of these things are going to start to happen to you where people start to behave weird, trying to jam you up. What you got to do is the secret weapon you should have is competency. Be competent, be diligent. Your follow-through game better be impeccable. And you better be very freaking organized. Be very, very organized. Or else you'll be jammed up forever. Let's say this agreement of yours that you have, goes belly up, goes south. And then you're depending on that agreement to go through for your business to get to the next level. And you're not competent, your follow-through game is not on point. You're going to be delayed by 6 months, a year even. That's going to delay everything in your business. You can't afford that. So let's say, for example, you're trying to import something into the country. And you have to, clear some stuff. You have to clear some stuff through the port. And you need to be able to be organized and knowing where it was dropped off at, who's responsible for clearing that, how to get the paperwork done, all these little things that could cause delays in your business. Let's say maybe you're importing a car. and you're not organized in how you are dealing with the paperwork, following up with the right government offices and whatnot, that import is going to be delayed, and your client is going to be mad at you. Your goal when you're coming over here to Africa is to operate at the highest level, so that when it comes to these petty scams or the scams at the highest level, you won't be affected. You won't be affected by any of the chaos that's thrown your way. As soon as somebody breaches a contract, you'll be like, oh, I've seen this before. This is nothing. I know how to deal with this because I'm organized. I'm more organized than this one. I'm more organized than my opposition. Be very focused, be very disciplined. That's how you make it in business over here in Africa. Not being sloppy, because I've seen too many people here that come to do business here in Africa, or that are trying to do business over here in Africa, and those businesses don't fail because they're sloppy. They drink too much. They're focusing on the wrong things. They're not focused. They're not focused on the mission. And they get jammed up out here. They get jammed up. That doesn't have to be you. I hope you got some value from this video. If you're ready to work with the best and you're looking to start a business over here in Africa, and you need to know how to deal with scams at all levels, I can teach you. I can be a mentor. I can mentor you on how to put systems in place so that if anything happens, anybody tries to trip you up, you're untouchable, baby. You're untouchable. Schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Schedule some time. This will be a paid consultation. This means that you're ready to get to the next level. Okay? You're ready to get to the next level. Schedule time. Talk to you soon.